Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, do you know what is hitting the fan in Naples? Ridge Forrester and Captain Nick Marone will continue to compete for Brooke Logan, but soap viewers are having a tough time getting invested in the love triangle, seeing as how Nick Marone has been gone for over a decade. Is Captain Nick's big proposal and over-the-top romantic gesture really that believable? Sure, Brooke Logan is great and all, but what has inspired his sudden interest in her again? The Bold and the Beautiful fans are starting to question Captain Nick Marone's sanity, and for good reason. Jack Wagner's big return has been just that, and he breezed back into Los Angeles like he never left. But the fact is he did leave, and Brooke Logan and all of his other exes have moved on without him. In fact, when was the last time his name was even brought up? The Logan women clearly haven't been losing any sleep over Captain Marone being Mia for 10+ years. However, fans are expected to believe that the entire time Nick was gone, he was pining over Brooke Logan and plotting on returning to sweep her off her feet. If you actually were watching the CBS soap back when Nick was a regular, then you know that he was also smitten with Brooke's daughter, Bridget Forrester, her sister, Katie Logan, her other sister, Donna Logan, and even her rival, Taylor Hayes. So, why is Brooke Logan the one that he's in hot pursuit of? Are you having a hard time getting on board with Cap Marone and Brooke Logan's epic romance? Are you holding out hope for a bridge reunion? It had been years since Nick Marone had strolled into Los Angeles with that signature sailor swagger. But when he recently returned, something felt off. At first, it was subtle, an odd comment here, a strange laugh there, but within days, whispers began circulating through the Forrester Creations corridors. Ridge Forrester, never one to let a potential rival slide under the radar, was the first to confront Brooke. "Something's wrong with Nick," Ridge said, leaning against her office doorway with arms crossed. "The man's not the same. Either he's hiding something, or he's lost his marbles." Brooke rolled her eyes, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "Ridge, not everything is some grand conspiracy. Maybe Nick's just adapting to being back." But privately, Brooke was uneasy. She had noticed Nick talking to himself in the elevator and laughing at jokes no one else had heard. And then there was that incident at Il Giardino, where Nick ordered a plate of calamari, stared at it for 10 minutes, then announced loudly that it was plotting against him. A shaky reunion. Nick's reappearance in LA had been meant to rekindle old friendships and maybe stir up a little romance, but instead, he found himself at odds with nearly everyone. Katie Logan had been the most patient, trying to have coffee with him to catch up. "You've been gone so long, Nick," Katie said with a smile. "What's been going on in your life?" Nick looked at her with piercing seriousness. "Katie, have you ever had a cat try to overthrow your government?" Katie blinked. No. That's because you've never been to the Bahamas during lobster season. They're not what they seem." Katie made a mental note to text Brooke immediately. Brooke's dilemma. Brooke, of course, felt a sense of responsibility. Nick had been a huge part of her life, and while they weren't romantically involved anymore, she didn't like seeing him spiral. Still, she couldn't deny the tiny part of her that wondered if Nick's eccentric behavior was an act, something designed to distract Ridge or shake up Forrester Creations. But the evidence of instability was mounting. One afternoon, during a meeting, Nick interrupted Steffi's presentation to ask if anyone else could hear the sound of the ocean calling for help. Steffi tried to brush it off, but the Forrester team was left exchanging glances. Theories fly. In true Bold and the Beautiful fashion, speculation spread faster than a scandal. Liam suggested maybe Nick had some untreated head injury from his sailing days. Hope wondered if it was heartbreak. Ridge, of course, suspected something far more devious, that Nick was pretending to be unhinged to gain access to Forrester's secrets while everyone underestimated him. "Mark my words," Ridge told Eric over drinks. "The man's playing us all." Eric, ever the voice of reason, replied, "Or maybe he just needs help." The Sheila factor. Things took a darker turn when Sheila Carter got wind of the rumors. Never one to miss an opportunity, Sheila sought Nick out at the marina where he was staying. She found him sitting on the deck of his boat, mumbling to a rubber duck. "Nick," Sheila purred, "you look like a man who's been misunderstood." Nick narrowed his eyes. "Or perfectly understood. By the wrong people." Sheila smiled. "Maybe you and I should team up. Two outsiders. We could shake this town to its core." For a moment, it seemed like Nick might bite, but then he suddenly pointed to the water and yelled, "Did you see that dolphin wink at me? He knows," before storming below deck. Sheila walked away, half amused, half baffled. Even she wasn't sure if he was crazy, or crazy like a fox. The intervention. Brooke finally decided enough was enough. She gathered Katie, Hope, and even Ridge for an informal intervention at Forrester Creations. Nick arrived late, carrying a pineapple under his arm. "Nick," Brooke began gently, "we're worried about you. Some of the things you've been saying and doing, they're not like you." Nick's gaze swept over the room. "Maybe I'm not like me anymore. Maybe the man you knew got lost out at sea, and this is who came back." Katie leaned forward. "That's exactly why we want to help. Talk to us. What happened?" Nick set the pineapple on the table like it was a centerpiece. "Out there, you see things differently. You realize the world isn't what it seems. And some of you," he glanced at Ridge, "are more dangerous than the storms." Ridge bristled. "Oh, here we go. This is exactly what I mean, Brooke. He's playing some game." Nick smirked. "Or maybe I've already won." And with that, he picked up the pineapple, tipped an imaginary hat, and walked out. The aftermath. In the days that followed, Nick's behavior only got stranger. He showed up uninvited to a fashion shoot wearing a pirate hat, gave Zen unsolicited relationship advice involving parrots, and was seen at the beach building an elaborate sandcastle shaped like Forrester Creations headquarters. But then, just when everyone was ready to write him off, he landed a lucrative shipping contract that directly benefited Forrester's distribution network. Overnight, Nick went from unstable to mysteriously brilliant. Brooke confronted him again. "Nick, was this all an act? To make people underestimate you?" Nick just smiled, his eyes glinting. "Maybe I've lost my marbles, Brooke. Or maybe I've been playing with a whole different set of marbles than you can imagine." And then he walked away, leaving Brooke both relieved and more confused than ever. Final twist. Later that night, Nick stood alone on his boat, tossing a small velvet pouch into the ocean. Inside were actual marbles, worn smooth by years of handling. "Goodbye, old friends," he murmured. "Time to start fresh." From the shadows, a figure watched Sheila, her curiosity now fully piqued. "What are you really up to, Captain Marone?" she whispered. One thing was certain. Whether Nick had truly lost his mind or was running the longest con in Bold and the beautiful history, his return was about to set off a tidal wave of chaos. And no one in Los Angeles would be safe from the splash. If you want, I can also make a part 2 where Sheila tries to exploit Nick's madness and ends up in over her head. That would keep the tension building.